Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Eastern Shore Real Talk Eastern Shore podcast. This is Ron, one of your co-hosts.
And this is John. And welcome back.
Yes, how are you guys doing today? We're doing wonderful, beautiful skies, about an 80-degree weather out here, a little bit of wind. The leaves are all over the ground. I mean, I don't know if the dryness has, killed all these leaves on the trees slowly but surely, but it's definitely going that route, unfortunately. But today, we did something a little bit different than usual. Usually we just go from the hip and just shoot whatever we're going to say. But today we went into where we questioned people about, stuff that are their pet peeves. Like I said, it's going to be a very long episode, probably a little bit longer than usual, but that's fine. So why don't we just jump into that right now? Because I want to go into one of my pet peeves more than anything. And I hate it with a passion. I hate it so much that when I hear it, or I see someone do it, and they'll do it on purpose, I literally get to the point where I just want to get up, grab them up, either smack them or throw them in the trash because it pisses me off so much. John, do you get mad when someone smacks their lips together? Like if they're talking or like they're eating like that stuff. That makes me so angry to the point like I don't even care where we're at. If we're in a store, in a restaurant, someone talking to me, like I literally just, I'm ready to grab them up. Like, why do people do that? Like, I mean, is that just like learned behavior, or do you just do it to be annoying? I mean, what would you think?
I don't know. I haven't really had that problem with a bunch of people, except maybe kids. But then you teach them to chew their food properly.
You've never heard anybody talk to you and go, stuff like that, or like smack their lips together when they're talking, like, and they got that little break where they're like, well, I was doing good today, and it just infuriates me so mad. Like I get to the point, like if I was in a car, I would go 100 miles an hour as fast as I could, and I wouldn't run them over, but just to scare them. Just infuriates me inside and out. Just so mad. I get so furious with it because it's just, I think it's a respect. And it's disrespectful, and the fact that it's disrespectful instead of respectful makes me furious about it.
But is it disrespectful? I mean, what if they just talk like that?
What if
that's the only way they can talk?
Well, hold on now. Listen, I know I have an accent. I know I have maybe a drawl. I know I might have a little bit, when I was, in first grade, I had speech impediment. I had slurred words, and I couldn't really say words correctly.
Yeah, I do that now.
Yeah, I do it now anyway. But the thing is, there's got to be like a little self-conscious about that. Like, you're doing it. Like, I mean, we're grown adults. Like, I know I can't say words correctly. I mean, sometimes I say sayings incorrectly. I know I've said things on here that were incorrectly said because it don't make sense when you listen to it. But at the same token, like, you don't hear me... it's just how we were doing. I just don't understand why. I mean, come on now. Like, you got to know and have knowledge of the fact that you're doing this. Like, if you do it because it's a learned behavior and it's just natural for you, I get it. But at the same time, but I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, where do you sit there and go, I do this, maybe I should change this, because I know it's got to be nerve-wracking for others. It's got to be, because it just, oh my God, I just want to get, when someone starts talking to me and we're sitting face to face, they start talking to me, I just want to get up. And usually I do. Or I just turn away, I just walk away. I just don't, understand, like, what makes someone, I guess, want to do it or just naturally do it. It makes no sense to me. Maybe it's, I don't think I'm judgmental about that. I just think I don't like that. Like,
well,
I just find it disrespectful.
That's a pet peeve. So.
Yeah. I just think it's very disrespectful. I know all the time I'm sitting here going, maybe this or nah, stuff like that, which might be, a pet peeve for others. But at the same time, I'm not. What are you doing? Like, what are you chewing on? Like, what do you got in your mouth? Like, is something just not, adding up here? Like, you trying to say something or whatever? I mean, the good thing is though, that's one of my pet peeves. I got a lot. But the good thing is, like, you did some journalist type work, did some interviews with people and asked. So
Oh yeah, we posted on Facebook earlier in the week, asking people what their pet peeves were, and we got quite a few responses actually. I even reached out to some people from other cities, but
Are you sure the cities or towns or villages or like?
it could be all of them.
Okay.
Some are considered cities, some are towns. Who knows
Okay, well, I'm just making sure. I
what their
wasn't
zip
sure.
code says they are.
Well, I totally understand that. You can go ahead, man.
But I'll start with my pet peeve first.
Okay.
My main one is when I go on Facebook, or as you call it, the book face,
Yes.
and I see a video of someone that recorded themselves doing a good deed.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good deed. You're doing it for the likes. Get off Facebook.
But hold on. I agree with you to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is all about likes, all about communication, all about. We got a Facebook page, a book face page. We got so many likes. I like to have more likes, and just remember, like us on Facebook, realtalkeasternshore.com. I mean, Real Talk Eastern Shore. But the point is, like, isn't Facebook about likes? It's more or less all about the likes.
Yes, but doing a good deed is not about likes.
I totally agree with that.
And you shouldn't, I don't know, what's the word?
Boast about it?
It's not boast. It's like pretend you're a good person because you recorded yourself giving a homeless person some money.
Okay, well, that's also another thing you got to look at it. Is it the fact that, they're trying to be a good person because they're not? Or are they a good person and just want to be recognized for what they do?
Nobody really knows. But it could be that, it's all about you. It's not about the person you're helping.
True, but at the end of the day, it does become a situation where it does become about that person to help. Because just say our podcast here, we're sitting here talking about, we're here to help as best we can. We're the ears and eyes. We can talk to you, whatever you want to talk about. If they do that good deed, maybe that good deed is not spoke about unless you do it on Facebook and they feel that recognition. So maybe they do another good deed because of that. It makes them feel good. It doesn't mean it will. Maybe they're saying, oh, well, I'm not that bad guy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show this. I gave this homeless person a sandwich or whatever. But sometimes, it's a catalyst to get where you need to go. And just like, you invited me in your house that one day, you did a good deed. You didn't sit there and put it on Facebook, which, I'm glad, whatever. But some people need that little bit of catalyst to push them a little farther. Everyone needs that little bit of push. Like, it don't matter. Like this podcast, like I said there, 2 weeks, let's do this. We've been sitting here five years doing, come on, man, we want to do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Nah. You sometimes need a little push, in my opinion. Now, granted, there is a little bit over the top. Mm-hmm. Like, I think, if you do a good deed, do you need to be recognized? Not really. But if you want to be recognized, I don't have no problem with it, in my opinion. But if it's over the top good deed, like if you keep on going, oh, I did this for this person, a good deed for this person, and you make it a description instead of saying, I did a good deed today. Okay, I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. But when you start putting like, I guess more details after if you do one, I'm fine with that. After the first one, you put a second one. Now I got a little issue with it because I can see where you're coming from.
No, but then you're contradicting yourself because you're saying, well, doing that first good deed and recorded themselves, that helped them out, and now they want to do it again. But you just contradicted yourself.
Not necessarily, because the thing is, if the second deed's not videoed or not on Facebook, then maybe that's what they needed to start doing it more and start doing it without being videotaped or say, oh, yeah, he's such a good kid. I'm such a good person, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to pat my back so hard I'm going to break my arm. Because people love doing that. Man, I'm going to say right now, people love to be told they're a good person at the end of the day. Who wants to be that bad person? Who wants to be, I don't want to play. It's like that kid, when you're, 6, 7, 8 years old, and they call him the boogie kid. He keeps on picking his nose and like, ew, he picks his nose. Why are you friends with him? Well, at the end of the day, like, it's not really, I guess it's his fault, but it's not. I mean, I guess he likes the taste. I don't know. I mean, it's just a natural habit for him, and at the end of the day, if it catalysts to being a better person to be down the road, then I'm okay with it. But if it becomes obsessive of I posted one video, I better do another one. I better do another one. I better do another one. To making good deeds, 5, 6 good deeds on videos, I have a problem with that, 100%.
Yeah, but I think that's still different than what I'm talking about. You're recording yourself solely for the purpose of getting those likes. That is it. I'm not talking about someone else records you doing a good deed and say, "Hey, can I upload this on Facebook or something?" Like, okay, sure, thanks. That's not what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking the camera, holding your, selfie style,
Yeah.
giving the person money. Oh, look what I did.
That's
ridiculous.
Which is still in the same sense of Facebook about the likes. Facebook is all about likes, plain and simple.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you a good person just because you give
No,
someone.
no, it doesn't. You're right. You're absolutely right. But it doesn't mean it won't make you a good person either. You can't say that, you don't know what happens. Everyone's different. You know what I mean? Maybe, hey, man, I got a lot of likes. You know what? Maybe this good, doing these good deeds will, pay off, for good karma or something like that. Maybe this is the, catalyst to get where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying. Totally agree with you. But at the end of the day, like, there's also pluses and minuses, I get what you're saying though, like 100%. Because when someone posts something like that as a video and say, here's $100, I gave this to this person, blah, 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 people like to see good deeds done at the end of the day. But at the same token, when you continuously do it on a regular basis, even after the first one, I think that's enough. The first one, I'm cool. I'm not cool with, but I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I think that's enough. You don't have to sit there and announce all the time. I did a good deed. So
Right.
okay. Well, I mean, if that makes you good and makes you happy, then fine. I'm fine with you saying that a couple of times. But at the same time, where's the stop? There's got to be I guess you say a stoppage somewhere with that. So
Right.
I mean, I totally understand what you're going. But go ahead.
Well, that being said, I mentioned earlier we spoke to some people and asked them their pet peeves. So I'll be reading these throughout the episode. But the first one I got was when people keep looking down at their phones as you're having a one-on-one conversation with them.
So right there, the technology world has taken over one-on-one interaction. If you ever look, like when you go to the bar, when I used to work at a bar, I see people on their phone all the time. I don't know how people do it because, like, you got to have the interaction to grow. You got to be able to, like, vocabulary to not feel socially awkward, not to talk, recklessly. When you're on the phone, you can talk the way you want. There ain't nothing stopping you.
Yeah, but if I'm talking to you face to face and I'm on my phone,
yeah,
do you think that's rude?
It's completely rude. I think it's rude and disrespectful. But as in the whole scheme of things, do I think it's right? No, not at all. Because it's just like when you go to the counter and you got, like, say, a soda, you have a couple candy bars, and say potato chips, and comes up, I don't know, maybe like $7.50, and you're on your phone the whole time, and I can only imagine how that cashier's feeling. It's like, yo, like, it's $7.50, and they're sitting there. Well, my girl said this and this and this and this, and they're going through trying to find their money. Like, that would be nerve wracking to me. Like, I would just be ready to just, like, reach out and touch someone per se. You know what I mean? Just slap the shit out of them. And I wouldn't care because that's just rude. 110% disrespect.
Yep.
100%. And I totally agree with you on that one.
And actually, you talking about that brings on to my next one. This one's from Doug out of Greenwood, Delaware. His was people who use their Bluetooth headset out in public, which isn't that bad of a deal until they start talking without their cell phone in their hand. So he goes, "What? Hey, hi," and it's not even for him.
I've seen a lot of people do that. I don't have no Bluetooth because some of that is my ears are sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I put something in my ear, I go crazy. I don't know. Maybe I was younger. I don't remember having surgery done to my ears per se, but it has to be something in that nature because it's so sensitive up there. The worst part is my hearing's going slowly but surely, so I'm kind of getting senile and I'm getting deaf. But at the end of the day, like, you're in line, you hear someone like, yeah, that bitch over there said this and that, and you're like, what? Like, or like, they make a comment, yeah, why don't you come see me? And they're looking almost straightly at you when you're on their Bluetooth, and you're sitting there going, is he really talking to me? Like, is this person really trying to get these hands or what? And I can totally understand that. That would really piss me off. That as Peter Griffin would say, it grinds its gears. That's what I would say, definitely. So definitely. Anything to add on to that one?
Yes, actually, Doug also mentioned a pet peeve that his wife has. Oh, are you talking about?
Just whatever.
Okay,
You know, I mean,
okay.
we're throwing it out there on the hip. This is what we do. We don't
Yeah.
sit there and go, well, since we're on this topic, we're going to say this. How many times have I told a story that went to 12 different topics and came back to the one topic?
2 episodes.
Okay, so we're on the third one. We're just making the third one too, okay?
So it's hers was when people don't close cabinet doors in the kitchen. Like, you go in for a plate, get it out, and just leave it.
So that's called not training your man correctly or training your kids correctly.
You hear that, Doug? You hear that?
At the end of the day, like, I mean, it's I guess you kind of put it like you don't put the toilet seat down. Like it's something, a habit. I think they're so used to it when they were younger, they left the doors open and stuff like that. And I mean, I can see where the pet peeve is. The things are wide open, everything's showing. You might have like kids come in there, try to grab stuff, or like
Right.
bang your head on the cabinet door or something like that. So I can understand where there'd be fighting words there. You're ready to fight somebody like tooth and nail. But also, sometimes you gotta train the man or woman that you're with, and this is how we do things. Can you stop doing this so I don't hit my head on this, or I don't fall through the toilet in the middle of the night and hit my ass on the damn wet toilet bowl, which I've had that happen before. Literally, I fell. Toilet seat was up. This was, oh my god, like 20 years ago, and pulling out a fan. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta poop. And sit down, pow, right on the bottom of the toilet. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Come to find out, it was me because there was nobody living with me. So like, I mean,
So you did it to yourself.
I did it to myself. So like, it was kind of I think I stayed up for like 3 hours afterwards. I felt very violated by the water. But at the end of the day, like, it's really cold down there. Like, so I mean, just letting you know that. So.
Well, it looks like I'm actually going to put this podcast as explicit now.
Well, I don't fucking blame you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's how the fuck it goes. You know what I mean? You just have that attitude some days. I mean, like I said in the first episode, if you remember correctly, I'm trying to change my language or lingo better. Some days it just don't work.
It took 2 episodes for you to start cussing again.
It's third. This is third. Took three.
Well,
This,
2 good ones,
well,
2 clean ones, and it.
yeah. So we'll go 2 episodes in like 10 minutes. Okay, so that's not too bad, But at the end of the day, like I'm just being me. I'd rather be me than be someone that I'm not going to be. So, but I'm going to try my best to be what I want to be.
I know. You can talk however you want to.
Well,
up to a point.
Well, yeah, you can't be throwing some vulgar C bombs and I guess the F bomb's kind of iffy too. So, but I mean, if worse comes to worse, we'll do what we got to do with it. So
we'll beep it out.
Yes, beep. But anyway, go ahead, John.
Well, I also received a pet peeve from Tammy out of Greensboro, Delaware.
Greensboro, Delaware. You mean Greensboro, Maryland?
Wow. Yeah.
Or Greenwood, Delaware?
No, Greensboro, Maryland.
Okay.
I haven't slept.
You haven't slept? What have you been doing? Working all day?
Kids.
Spin kick them. They'll go to sleep sooner or later.
It didn't work.
I'm sorry to hear about that, sir. Sorry to hear about that.
So anyway, Tammy, she runs an animal rescue out of Greensboro, Maryland. Thanks for correcting me.
Way to emphasize Maryland.
And she said when people go or want to go adopt one of the dogs or cats or pigs, she's got a bunch of animals over there that can use a home, by the way. And people want to adopt, they want to come over and they want to adopt an animal, but they have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she tries to explain it to the person. It's like, no, I don't want you to get anyone sick or any of the animals. Not sure whether it can spread to animals or not, but
it has been proven fact that COVID does go to animals.
Okay, so there's that.
But I mean, the thing is, like, so what you're saying is there's people that want to adopt an animal, and what they'll say is, well, I can come adopt an animal today or tomorrow, but I have COVID. What can we do? Kind of deal. Instead of going, I'll wait till I'm healthy. I'm 100%.
Right.
We don't have to worry about, the animal rescue. Was it Hounds Hill?
Hounds.
Hills Hounds.
Yeah, Hill Hounds. HILLHOUNDS.org is their website.
Nice plug.
Thanks.
But anyway, the point is, yes, definitely look at the website for them. They do wonderful things over in Greensboro, Maryland, not Delaware. But I can understand her pet peeve there because, like, I mean, the COVID thing has made it very knowledgeable that this COVID thing is not going away. Doesn't mean it's not less serious or less, but I can understand where she comes from because I don't want to get it.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get. I mean, I'm gonna raise my hand, and I don't know if I've ever had it, but I don't think I've had it, but I might have had it because I feel like crap half the time anyway. But it just might be my natural, body. I think you said you had it once, COVID.
No, I have not. I couldn't tell you that I did. I've tested it myself. Work has tested me. It never turned out positive, but other times I could have just been asymptomatic.
Well, that's true. I mean, I've been negative on STD, so I'm pretty good there too. So
that's good.
I mean, yes, that's a win-win for both ways, in my opinion. But I mean, if you look at the when the pandemic hit, how many people were in the hospital and they were just dying, like people just falling right off. And I mean, I that's for another episode down the road when we feel like we won't have the government down our ass. Because like that's gonna be something that someone's got to explain to me about this bat because me and this bat's got to talk because I need to find out who he is because he seems like he's devilish.
And but anyway, this bat has made a cameo in 2 episodes so far.
Yes, he's more recognized than anyone else.
So my wife just texted me her pet peeves.
Mm-hmm.
So trash next to the trash can and not in it.
Hold on. So hold on. So who takes the trash out?
I do.
Okay, so she's mad that you don't put it in the trash can.
I don't think that's what she's talking about.
What trash?
It's
talking about everywhere else.
Yeah, like with the kids.
Yeah.
Or like the bag next to the trash can before being taken out or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Toilet paper not on the holder, but instead everywhere. So this is definitely me. This is me. Like,
okay.
When the toilet paper is about to run out, I get another roll.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't replace the toilet paper roll because there's still some there. So there's this bar with the towels hanging in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll just put it up there or I'll put it on the side of the...
Well, I mean...
It's a game.
Well, it's kind of like a gun. You got to have a second bullet in there just in case you missed the first time, right? I mean, let me tell you something. Like, I'm going to tell you this. Toilet paper is kind of like confetti to a certain degree. It goes everywhere, no matter what. Even if you live by yourself, you sit there, you do your thing with it, whatever you want to, make love, whatever. I don't care. Do what you got to do. But when you put the roll without it on the roller so you can, pull it off, it just goes everywhere. No matter what lives in there, who lives in there, what animals live in there, it just goes everywhere. Because it's fun to play with. Toilet paper is fun to play with. You can toilet paper trees, cars, mailboxes, your house if you want to. I mean, back at the time, if you remember correctly, I think the day before Halloween would be Mischief Night.
Mischief Night, yeah.
And Mischief Night, there would be a whole bunch of toilet paper down the roads and trees and cars and stuff. Now it's not like that at all because everyone's afraid to catch a charge quick. But, I mean, I can understand where she's coming from on that one. So
yeah, wow, your ADHD kicked in bad because I'm like talking about toilet paper in front of the bathroom.
Yeah, well, I mean,
trees.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not used, I guess it's okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's used and they start throwing up on there, you're like,
yeah, we got a problem.
Why you got a shitty damn piece of toilet paper on my tray? You know what I mean? Like, I can find humor and laughter if it's just toilet paper, but if it's shitty toilet paper, we got a problem. It's going to the next level now. So, but I understand. But go ahead.
All right, the last one she sent me was food left in dishes, but the plate is put in the sink. That I get too, because especially with our 8-year-old, he's done with his food instead of whatever. There's not crumbs, but crust from the bread or cereal in his bowl in the sink.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a trainable lesson. Like, that's something that maybe they were used to doing, or I don't know.
Oh, no, he's not used to doing
it. He just does it because he's lazy.
Yeah.
He's lazy.
He's like, okay, I'm done.
But when you do that, I mean, when that happens, what is corrective action towards it?
We don't know until it's too late, so it can correct hours later.
Yeah, you can. You can leave that right in the bowl, and then the next day be like, you see this? If this happens again, I'm waking you up, and you're going to put it in the trash. Not the bowl, but the food. And, I mean, that's what I would do at the end of the day. I'm kind of an asshole to it. But, I mean, I would not want that. That causes ants, cockroaches, stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know, at the end of the day. So I totally understand. I mean,
Yeah.
you're parents, and I understand. You know, I'm parents too, and sometimes we let the kids get away with a little bit more, so they keep on doing it. And then when we try to stop it, it's already so far, it just becomes a hassle. You know, because everyone fight against you. They're very revolt. So, well, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, actually, why don't you talk about? You have any pet peeves about in here?
Not really. I mean, except for the dog. Me and the dog going to fight one day. I mean,
That dog. Yeah.
he's. Listen, I love my husky to death, but at the end of the day, me and him about to fight every single day. He don't like me too much. The only thing he likes about me is because I bring him home money. He knows he gets dog food. He's fed. He's everything. The bad part
gold
about
digger.
him, yes, he is just like the gold diggers of the United States, I guess. You know, if he could, I mean, open the door, he wants to ride. If he sees food, he wants to eat. But other than that, he's about, and God forbid, if the door opens, he's ready to run out. And I mean, he's ran out a couple times. Been caught, luckily. But, I mean, not really. I mean, I guess my pet peeves are more outside the home than inside the home.
Yeah.
You know, it's like things that I see, like, you know, miss badass kids, don't have no respect for people. You know, that's a really pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. Another one of mine is when people tell me a long story, and I'm talking about, like, you know, telling it 5 minutes down the road, they're still telling it. And they say, but to make a short story long, sorry, to make a long story short.
Yes.
Which they actually did the opposite. I'm like,
because they always, it's all about, it's kind of like the likes for Facebook. It's all about attention. People want love attention. It don't matter what kind of negative, positive, neutral. It's all good for them because everyone wants to talk. Like I said, you know, in the first episode, you know, you deliver to an older lady or a man, and they're a widow, and they just want to talk. They got no kids around and stuff like that. They just want to talk. They want that attention. It fulfills that little space that might be only like a small space, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it's a good and bad thing per se. You know, especially if you're sitting there like looking at them. And you can actually look right through them because you're like, man, I'm done with this story. We shut up, but you just get there. Nice. You know what I mean? Just try, try to, interact with that. So I totally understand that.
I also got a message from Danielle in Denton. Hers is a direct quote. Put your damn shoes on the rack, not in front of it. If you got a shoe rack, and I do.
Well, how many goddamn shoes you got?
I don't know. Put it on the rack.
I personally like my shoes outside.
Yeah, if you're not putting it in front of the rack.
Well, but why would they put it on? Why would they put it in front of the rack? Like, is it too big?
It's probably kids.
But you're not sure.
No, I'd say probably.
I mean, it could be like these, hooker heels, or it could be like cowboy boots that just don't fit on the rack. Like, I don't know. Like, so I mean, but I understand where they're coming from. I'd say, sorry, Danielle. I don't know you, but I'm just saying what I'm thinking mentally. So, please don't take it personal. But like, I don't know what kind of shoes we're talking about. If it's shoes like a kid's shoes, they should be put on a rack. Should be no questions about it. Now, if they're boots and stuff like that, that could be kind of iffy because some of the boots are bigger than the rack itself. And if the rack's not sturdy, it can fall. So where are you at now? You got shoes everywhere. So now you're going to be more mad. You know what I mean? So I totally understand that. So.
Yeah, because I doubt if it was boots and couldn't fit, I don't think she'd be complaining about that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who she is. So, I mean, I'm going by just, conversation and thought process, So,
yes, indeed.
Definitely. She'll be like, don't ever say my name again over there. Do you understand me? Ron is such an ass.
Well, she knew that.
Well, okay. Man, go figure. Go ahead.
So, Sylvia, also from Denton, said, leaving lights on in a room when no one is in it.
Ooh.
That I understand.
Ooh, that is a pet peeve of mine. Badly. Let me tell you something. The city of Dover just went up, from my understanding, I want to say almost $60, $70 in electric, just for an increase.
Ours did too in Denton. First, it went up 15%, and then it went up $15.
Jesus. Like
within 2 months or something.
I'm really looking at solar panels. I really am. I know a lot of friends that have it. I know a lot of friends that deal with it. They say they save so much money. I mean, don't get me wrong, their trash and water is pretty cheap down here. But at the end of the day, like, my electric bill is just ridiculous. And like, I can't stand that. Like, I do it myself sometimes, and I've gone out to my car and drove down the road and turned back around to make sure all the lights are off. Because like I'm like,
Yeah.
what did I, did I do this? Or every once in a while I'm like, did I flush that toilet or something? I mean, or because I do that at work too. Because like when I go to work, I have to close up a lot of times, so I can make sure all the doors are locked. Well, I'll leave and get down the road a little bit. Like, did I make sure that back door was locked? I'll better go check that out real quick.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll do. So I totally get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, and also we got one from Lucy from Denton. When no one folds the blanket after they're done using it, you know how in the living room, well, some people have a place with blankets. They have a bunch of blankets that are folded. Kids probably take it, lie down on the couch, cover themselves up, and then just leave it on the floor.
Okay, so that's a tough one because you got to look at it two different ways. Some of these kids out here, let's not lie, all kids out here do it. They'll go running and everything outside for like 12 hours, which is not like they used to.
Right.
Come in the house, put a blanket on. I know they stink. Why do I want to be in their stinky blanket the next day? Put it in the washer or dryer or something. You know what I mean? Which I totally understand it should be folded. But like at the same time, like...
Well, if it's dirty, I'm pretty sure that's a different subject.
Yeah, but how do you know if it's not dirty? Because she said if it's not folded after use. So being used means that there's a possibility it could be someone that, might have dirty hands, or if you're a germaphobe, you know what I mean? That would make them go crazy. You know what I mean? If they get a blanket and they go, oh my God, look at that, there's mud on this, oh my God. And then they're freaking out, But I totally understand what she's getting at. But also at the same time, if they're using it, maybe they should just throw in the washer anyway.
So we're playing devil's advocates to all these pet peeves, just so you know.
No, that's just Ron speaking. It has nothing to do with devil's advocate. Like, I'm looking at it in many different ways. I mean, I don't know you people, unfortunately, and hopefully I will sooner or later. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to sit there and look at it many different ways and say, I get what they're saying, but at the same time, what if? And what if factor is always there. So you never know, I'm just saying.
That's devil's advocate.
I know, but I'm not being devil's advocate. I'm just being Ron. There's a difference.
Ron's advocate.
Yes, there you go. I'll go with that. I'm better with that. I'm not, I guess, it is what it is.
Now, how about this one? Leaving dirty laundry on the floor in front of the hamper. I think we can all agree that's a bad one.
And Ron's advocate.
Oh, boy.
Don't leave it on the floor. Put the motherfucker in the washer. Quit being lazy. Just take the whole thing and put it in the washer. Get it done with. Why leave it there? I mean, for real, if it's dirty and there's enough dirty clothes to put in the washer with other stuff.
Yeah, but this is not that. This is you take off your clothes for the day.
Yeah.
And it's not enough to fill the washer, obviously.
Okay.
That's why there's a hamper.
Okay, but what if the hamper is almost full and there's enough to do wash? Shouldn't they just put in the washer? Don't you agree?
Would you trust your kids to do the laundry?
Yes. I trust every damn last one of them. Even my dog. I'll put my dog on the washer and dryer. He'll put it in there. But, I mean, the thing is, like, I understand the pet peeve completely. I agree. But, at the same token, if they're putting it in front of the hamper, they could just put it in the washer anyway. And if there's enough wash, they can find, you know what? I got an idea. They can take that dirty blanket we were talking about just a minute ago and put it with her, and there's a whole wash load right there. Done nowhere. Case is closed. Got it down. But I totally agree. It's a terrible, terrible pet peeve that I can totally agree with you on that one. So go ahead.
So I also had one where, by the way, thank you for everyone that took the time to answer these pet peeve questions. I just want to say that right now in case I forget. But I got one from a kid, or at least their mother is relaying this message from them anonymously. And it said specifically when her brother wakes up, well, not wakes up, but sleepwalks in the middle of the night, goes into her room and pisses on on the rabbit cage in her room.
Is there a rabbit in there?
Yes.
That's brutal.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say about that one. I can't even fight that. Like, that's I don't even know if that's a pet peeve. Like,
Oh, it's got a pet in it.
Well, wow. Yeah, good point. Well, I don't even know what to say what that is. That's I guess he thinks he's in the bathroom, and maybe you need to I don't know, have an escape plan for him to understand why he sleepwalks, where to go to the bathroom at. I don't know, honestly. I'm not sure how to answer that one. So, yeah. I mean, I mean, I do have a story about something like that, but
Yep.
it has nothing to do with a kid and don't have nothing to do with being sober. But I mean, I figure we'll just throw it in here anyway, since it'd be something that I'll probably talk about. So this was back when I was like 22, 23. I used to play with a traveling softball team, slow pitch softball men's team. That was when you play, with a slow pitch team men's. That means you're past your prime. You had hard barred dreams to be a professional, but it never fruitioned. So we used to go down to Richmond, Virginia, stay at the Marriott. 74C, I believe, was the exit in the Marriott. Beautiful hotel, nice, but it was straight in the hood, like completely in the hood. Well, we get down there on Friday nights, and we go out and we go party. We go to different places. There was a place called the Flood Zone that we went to. The place called Tobacco Warehouse. So we decided we're going to go to Tobacco Warehouse first day. So we're going to Tobacco Warehouse. There's like 7 of us walking down the road, literally just kind of like walking down the sidewalk, in the middle of Richmond, Virginia, having fun, enjoying ourselves. So we get to this place, So the understanding of what the Tobacco Warehouse was, they had cigars. It was about a cigar themed bar. So you went down, they had music, a nice little dance floor. So we're all down there, and they were like, hey, there were 7 of us. And they were like, hey, let's go take shots. Well, I'm a person back then. I really didn't drink when I was, 22, 23 a lot. But, I don't think I took a shot that night. But everyone's out there, everyone takes a shot. So you got 6 people take 1 shot. Then one guy drops off. Then, they take a second shot. Then a third shot. Then, 2 people drop off. So now you're down to, 3 people. Well, the one guy that was taking these shots is a beer drinker. He does not really drink liquor at all. So he was sitting there, I think he's 3 shots in, I believe. And then he's like, I'm just going to do one more. So, he does the 4th one with the other guys, the other 2. They take the 4th shot, he's like, I'm out. Well, the other 2 drinks, I think it was 6 or 7 shots, right? Back to back to back to back. Everything's cool, and back then they called me wingman. My job was to entertain what you would classify someone's partner. So it'd be 2 females, 2 males. I was the one that would entertain the person that my boy was not interested in. So I'm sitting there, my man's like, yo, why don't I get with this girl, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, I got you. So he got up with this girl, I take the other one, we're sitting there, we're dancing on the floor, blah blah. And it's funny because he's dancing with this girl, I'm kind of dancing with the other girl. I'm like, ha ha ha, And I forgot, I said something, she said something back to me, and I made a comment of something I understand what you mean. It was kind of that kind of comment. I can't remember exactly what the question and everything was, and she put her hand in my face. Well, then I got mad. Don't put your hand in my face. That woman or not, that infuriates the shit out of me. That's a pet peeve of mine, actually. If you want to get technical, putting your hand in someone's face, that is a pet peeve, technically.
Yep.
So I'm like, forget this. My man's on his own. I'm done with this. Blah blah blah. So I'm looking for my boy. So my boy's in the corner, got his hat down below his eyes, even with his eyes almost. And he's like, Ron, I'm drunk. I'm like, you're drunk? He was like, yeah, I'm drunk. I was like, you messed up pretty bad. Said, yeah, I gotta go to the hotel. Well, I'm thinking to myself, man, I am not going to the hotel. I'm having a decent time here. My peoples are here. I'm not going to leave them. I was like, I'll get you into a cab. And he was like, okay, man, all right. So we go upstairs, we get to the sidewalk, and there's a couple cabs there sitting anyway, because that's a hot spot. So I'm like, listen, I was like, how much it costs to get into the Marriott down at near Broad Street? He was like, oh, that's only $10. I said, here's $30. Make sure you don't stop nowhere else but what, because he's going to tell you to go other places. Tell him no. God forbid I told that taxi driver that, because he literally told him where to go. He told him on the ride there, he was like, yo, man, my boy don't know what the hell he's talking about, blah, 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 F him. He was like, take me where the hookers are, take me where the hoes are. So my man in the taxi cab decided not to take him, took him straight to the hotel. Thank God, because where he would have been crack alley pretty much down there. We get back to the hotel. As we're walking back to the hotel, my boy, he decides he's going to take his hands and walk. You know them parking meters that are like out of the concrete.
Yeah.
You know where you park at,
Mm-hmm.
you put quarters in. So he's taking his hand and smacking it with his hand. He smacked one so hard it broke open, literally, and it was coins everywhere, like on the, like in the middle of the sidewalk, and we're all just like, oh my god, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. I think we picked a couple quarters up or something like that, but nothing like I might have been like $4 or $5 or something, nothing big a range. So like that's fine, whatever. We're keeping on walking, and then my other dude is like, man, he's like, I'm gonna go here. Where there's a little, so you got a sidewalk, road, the middle median, and it was like concrete and brick, and then you had the road and the sidewalk. So you had 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes going here, and a median with concrete. So a man goes across, and he got this newspaper box. It's chained to this tree in the middle of the road. He wants to wrestle the newspaper box. He starts trying to throw it, try to break the chain. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, oh, slamming it against the tree and all this. I'm like, oh my God, this is about to go bad. You know what I mean? Real bad. Well, he finally got off because we kept on walking. He realized we ain't going to, wait for him. So we get back in the hotel, I was in a room with this one guy, his girlfriend. It was another guy. He slept on the cot. Well, it was kind of like a rollout bed. Mm-hmm. And then I slept in the room with my second baby's mom. So, like, we're going up to the room and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm hungry. I need to get some pizza. And they're like, yeah, why don't you order pizza? All right, yeah. How many pizzas do you think we need? I said, I don't know. I said, probably 5. We think we need 5? I was like, yeah, I'm hungry, man. Like, we'll have it for breakfast. We got to. I go up to the room, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm just like this. And all of a sudden, I hear this door open. Wow, it's the one dude, he comes in, he flops on the bed. I'm like, okay. I already ordered, pizza. My man's going to go to sleep on me. So I go downstairs, and, what's the guy's name? Anyway, so I guess he went over next door, and where one of the guys that 2 of the guys, the one that I sent in the taxi cab back to the hotel, and the other guy that was with us, well, the other guy curled underneath the sink in the bathroom because he said it was cold, like the tiles. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to feel cold and everything. And the other guy was laying face first into his bed, just laying there, like flat, like he was out of it. So a man gets on top of him, starts riding him, like, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? He's like, you're my daddy, baby, you're my daddy. So, like, that was funny. I'm thinking, all right, humor, so be it, whatever. So next morning, it's like 7:45, 8 o'clock. We got our pizza. We ate whatever, stuff like that. So the next morning, I noticed, like, you hear a lot of movement in in R4. And I know everyone was on R4. So, like, it had to be some more guys that were moving. And then all of a sudden, like, we're sitting there. We go downstairs and, like, yo, you don't know what happened up in the room last night. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, the guy that went over there came back to our room. He's like, well, that's not the thing. Well, in that room, there was the one guy that was laying on the bed, one guy underneath the sink, and there was a couple. It was a dude and a woman that was laying in their bed. So there was 2 beds, one guy underneath the sink. Said about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, a man that was laying on the bed face first gets up. So a man in the other bed's laying there. He said, all of a sudden he hears a scream. I'm like, what's going on, He looks up. My man had opened up his luggage. Wide open. It was taking a piss right in his luggage. Just going right at it. My man said, yo, what are you doing? He said, I got this. Don't worry about me. I got this. I'm good. So I don't know if he woke up at 7 or my man in bed with his woman woke him up at 7. Well, my man was cleaning every piece of luggage in there. Every piece of clothing, toothpaste, toothbrush, and all of it. So my man was straight up, just letting it rip and everything. I feel bad for the guy, but the best thing apart about it was the best ball he's ever played. Like, he couldn't mess up at all. Like, I think he was worried about we were going to rag him because it was bad. He was that drunk. It was sad, though. But it was funny as hell. Like, it was worth it. So, I mean, definitely. Sorry about that. We'll go back to what we were talking about.
So, back on today's Pet Peeve episode.
Well, there was a pet peeve. I mean, one.
There were pet peeves in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I mean, no one wants piss on some luggage. So be it. But I mean, I totally understand that. But go ahead.
So I had another anonymous, which I know you're going to have to say something about this one. When their significant other talks to their ex.
They call them exes for a reason,
Right.
and exes don't belong in your life unless it's a baby father and it's only about their kids, or a baby mother.
Yeah.
When you start becoming a friend with an ex, it only turns out bad for all three at the end of the day. I don't know why someone would talk to them like in, I guess, friendship, or it's more than just the kids or what. But that's just it's borderline cheating in my opinion.
Yeah, outside of your kids, you really don't. If you have kids with them, you really don't need any reason to be friendly with them.
Yeah, and really you don't even need to talk to them. Period.
Yeah.
Because anymore, the kids tell everyone everything. Kids don't. They're loose lips. They just keep running at it. They never stop. So I mean, I really don't think if you per se, if they're talking to somebody that is their ex, then maybe they need to reconsider this relationship they're in. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that you should, but I'm saying my opinion is maybe there's something missing. There's something that you don't know, or something that he's not telling you, or she's not telling you. So I don't know if it was a male or female, but still, But go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure,
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up on the next one that I received from James in Arizona. One of his pet peeves is when he's actually calling someone's name and they reply with "what."
Well, I guess that's kind of iffy, because I can understand why someone would say what, but how many times does he call the name, number one, and number two, how many times is he sitting there? Is he saying, is he screaming it? Is he, just kind of like, hey, come here, or whatever,
or like, what do you want? Also,
yeah, that infuriates me there. What don't bother me, because I can understand if I'm saying, hey, John, what? Well,
yeah, if you say what once is fine, but then you say, what do you want?
Yeah, really? Do you have a problem with that? My problem is, you said, what do you want? Be lucky that I want you, period, okay? Because maybe you're not wanted anyway. That's the thing. That's extra conversation that don't need to be had. Just say, what would be perfect. When you add, context to something like that, it makes it sound so derogatory and negative. And it just makes everyone uncomfortable and unhappy in the situation with that, definitely.
Yeah.
So
now, also out of Arizona, we have Julio. I don't know why why it sounded like I didn't know how to say Julio.
Julio.
He said giving people credit and then them proving he was right not to give them credit in the first place.
So someone giving credit, but not, instead of saying I shouldn't get the credit, saying that, oh, well, thank you, I got the credit for this. You know what I mean? But see, is that really I mean, I can understand it a pet peeve, but is it the person denying it, or oh yeah, I did that?
Because I think he's saying all along he was no, it's not. He didn't do the work, and then he says. Somehow convinces him he does the work, and then realizing, well, shit, probably copied off of Wikipedia or something.
So that's the thing. It's just like this podcast here. You don't talk much.
No.
But you are the backbone of this operation. The credit goes to you.
I don't think so.
To me it does. Because I can't do this. I can't figure out how to do this 100%. I'm just going to sit here and look, be like, I guess I hit record here. I guess I'll figure it out sooner or later. That's not me. The computer, you know what to do with it. You know how to do things with it. I couldn't do it. So to me, I will never take the credit. And if I do take credit, it's going to be my mouth, because it's maybe, I said more or something, but the credit's going to have to be shared at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And most credits should be shared. It shouldn't be okay, well, I did this, and because of what I did, we made this possible. You're right, it did. But you're trying to force your credit, and the other person's credit don't mean shit. And it shouldn't be that way. It takes two people to do certain things.
Yep.
So I can understand that. I get that. You know.
Now, this next one, I want to give a shout out to Cheryl because she actually was the first one to message us through Facebook.
Yes, Cheryl. Dan, nice to meet you. About time you send something else on me. So go ahead.
So she said, when people think that wording a question differently will change your answer.
Well, it does. Sometimes it does. Like, you can word a question differently, and it does work for people. You know, oh, well, he didn't demand it from me, or she didn't demand it from me. You know, how he worded it makes it sound so much better. We're going to say yes. You know, kids are good for that. They'll word questions differently every single time. It's the same question.
Like you say, can you pick up the plates off the table? And then they're like, especially my son, can you pick up the plates off the table? And it's like, but they're bowls.
Yes.
Can you pick up the bowls off the table?
No,
like,
that's what infuriates me. Do I really have to be point on point, word correct, for you to understand what you need to do? You just don't want to do it because you're being lazy. Like, oh my God, that infuriates the shit out of me. Like, straight up, like, catching hands, no cares, eat for everybody. I mean, it just, you wonder why people do that, and they do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, if it's a kid, you understand because they're just, well, they're kids.
Yeah.
But it's an adult.
But there's, you know how many people that are adults are like an immature little kid?
Yeah.
There is a ton of them. Like, it's never they grew up, they didn't have enough hugs, they weren't kissed enough when they were young or whatever. I don't understand it. Like, I really don't. I don't get it. Like, maybe it's just, you know, the different breeds we are, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out here just young, socially awkward, just have no clue what's going on, and they're old as well, from top to bottom. So, but anyway.
So I think this is the last one I received, also from James in Arizona. When people use their utensils, I want to say like a 3-year-old, because you know normal people pick them up underhand, but they're eating overhand, like they're barbarians, Vikings.
Well, sometimes we need that Viking aspect in life. We need to see someone banging their chest and like, you know, I'm the man or I'm the woman. It's kind of funny to a point, which I can understand as a pet peeve because you know how it should be done correctly. But there's some people just never learn. You know what I mean? Their parents were not, I guess you would say, interested in the mistakes that they were doing when they were young. You know, instead they were just worried about doing whatever else. So,
Sure.
it's okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, some caught your attention.
Something. No. I was reading this one too. You're driving down the road, 2-lane, one way, and 2-lane, one way each way, and someone passes you and then slows the hell down.
I love people like that.
I hate them.
I do it all the time.
I know. I hate you.
Because listen, man. When you're on that road, say 8-10 hours a day, man, you deal with so much stuff on there. You deal with people literally coming across the highway at the last second. You almost hit them, or kids, or you know, the worst nightmare is hitting a kid being a delivery driver or hitting anybody. You deal with a lot of stress on the road. I don't really do that. Like I learned a long time ago. There's no need to speed. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, just leave earlier because at the end of the day, you got nothing better to do.
Unless you got a shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Just hold it. Just hold it. Your butt cheeks are hard enough. You'll be fine.
You don't want to be prairie dogging down.
Listen, man.
15 miles away from home.
I prairie dog a lot sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you want to be?
Well, sometimes it feels good to me, man. I feel like I'm free when I get to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like the bad part is when you're sitting there and you're running in the house and you're like, oh God, and you know where your bathroom is. You go to the bathroom. And you try to get in the bathroom, you're going so fast, you're like, oh, I didn't turn the knob. And then you turn the knob and you get in there, and then you got to drop drawers, and you're like, oh my God, I can't, I got to stop right here, or it's going to be a mess. Like, because you're that far along, which is bad. It's not healthy. But at the same token, that does happen on a regular basis to people.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. And especially being a delivery driver, you're in the middle of, what's that place called? Crapo or Church Creek, or like in the middle of nowhere down by St. Michael's, or like the end of Cambridge's. There's like roads that take you to the middle of like nowhere. Literally, you go all the way out to the water. There's hardly anything there.
Right.
And then the nearest bathroom is like 20 minutes away. And if that you start prairie dogging there, you're screwed no matter what you do, because there may be like the one like on Elliot's Island Road. The nearest store is in Vienna. That's almost 20 minutes. And at half the time, the water comes across the road and it'll flood it out. So if you go across, you got a certain amount of time. If you start seeing water on that road, it's going to flood up. And if you're not in the right vehicle, man, you're going to just go around to the bay, Chesapeake Bay, and you just be floating. So I totally understand that.
Got another one, actually. One, Tracy out of Denton, back in Maryland.
Okay, Maryland. Maryland is MD.
When talking in a baby voice, when giving your wife or husband compliments, your significant other.
So,
ooh, I love you, baby, blah, blah, blah.
So hold on. Let me explode that a little more.
Okay.
When you talk in a baby voice as an adult, period. Okay?
Yes.
That infuriates the flying titty fuck out of me. Like, I get so angry, I don't even want to talk to the person. I walk away. Like, I don't even well, what's the matter with you? Come on, you serious? Like, you're a grown-ass adult. You're going to act like a baby? What, I need to change your diapers? Like, is that what you need? What do you need? Some baby powder on your butt or something? You know what I mean? I hate that stuff more than anything. Like, talk to me like an adult. If you want me to talk to you like an adult, I'll talk to you like an adult. You want me to talk to you like a child? I'm not going to talk to you. Because that means you're not mature enough. I ain't got time for it. You know, that. Yeah. Tracy, that was beautiful, sweetie. Beautiful. I get that totally 100%. I'm with you wholeheartedly. Tell them to act their age, not their shoe size. Thank you very much.
And spits in sink and doesn't rinse it down. That's disgusting.
That is. That's very disgusting.
Yeah.
That's very disgusting. That could be really bad.
Yeah, there's not much we can say about that. It's just disgusting.
There's no devil advocate. I mean, it's just like, well, I mean, all you need to do is like wipe it up or sink
or just turn the sink on.
Yeah, well, soap it up. Like, you know what I mean? The classic example: say it's a man that's doing it, and a woman is trying to wash her face in the sink. Mm-hmm. Well, now she's got all this spit residue, and she's got whatever germ bacteria is there. You know, so if they don't, scrub it or whatever, then it becomes a big problem.
Especially if you're sick already and you're coughing up or spitting out phlegm.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're going to kiss your girl anyway. So I mean, I hope
that's not.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
If you shouldn't leave your spit in it, so you definitely shouldn't leave your phlegm in it.
Well, of course not. You just throw it on the window or something. I guess you know what I mean. Like like boogie flicking. You know what I mean. You try to aim somebody 25 foot and hit them in the forehead with a boogie. So I mean, I guess that's something you got to look at too. But yeah, I totally agree. There's no devil advocate to that one. There's no Ron's advocate on that one.
Gets upset when things aren't done the way they want, but doesn't even do it themselves. For example, rinse plates before putting them in the sink, or rinse your plate before putting it in the dishwasher.
So that
as it hardens up.
That's good and bad, because this is what I'm going to say. In a relationship, some relationships are built a certain way, and maybe the woman has said, hey, I will take care of this. You don't need to do this. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what you do. You know what I mean? So, like, say she goes, well, you're going to take care of the outside. I'll take care of the inside. Okay? He should help. Yes. Completely with that. 100%. But we don't know the dynamics of the relationship.
No, but if you finish your food and you're putting your plate in the sink.
But that's common sense.
Yeah.
But I would say that's common sense, too. Because, I mean, he don't clean up, but he wants a certain way. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, maybe he has to go back to the training thing. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to train him the way, this is how it's clean. That way you don't bitch. You don't complain, act like a little whiner about it because you're being a little pansy ass pretty much. So I totally understand that. I totally get that. So go ahead.
Leaves dirty glasses everywhere, but in the sink. Or like right next to the sink. On the island, 2 feet from the sink.
It takes 1.2 seconds to wash a glass. Yep, 1.2 seconds. So maybe that lazy man, they have these things called dating apps on the phone. I'm just saying. maybe we need to train him better. If you don't train him better, it's not going to go well. You need to get him, some one-on-one training. Say, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to, learn. That way, we don't have have bad situations. We don't get in arguments and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So maybe she needs to put forth the effort to say, this is what you're doing wrong. Maybe you need to do this so we can have a better relationship down the road. So it won't be so much argument and hollering.
All right, and I think this is the last one I received. By the way, again, thank you everyone who reached out. Wet towels left on the bed. So, you get a shower, you dry yourself.
Listen, I don't use towels.
Ugh.
I'm all natural. This body, 275 pounds of chewed bubble gum.
275? You lost weight, man.
Yes, I
Good for
told
you.
you, 275.
Good for you.
Chewed bubble gum and got sex appeal coming out of his ears.
That's called wax. That's called
It
wax.
could be wax too. But still, I do use towels, but usually I do certain things, like I kind of just, let the air take its course a little bit. Because I'll stand in the shower for 10 minutes with no shower on after I take a shower and just kind of like reflect on the day, or, why am I doing this podcast with this John guy and stuff like that, and just, get my thoughts together. I'm almost dry as it is. So when I put my towel, my towel's done, it's not really wet. It's barely even damp. Usually. Not about 80% of the time. You know what I mean? I would say. What?
How do you dry?
Natural.
So you stand out on a carpet for like 10 minutes?
I just stand in a shower there for like 10 minutes. Just be sitting there thinking about things. Just like, man, life's rough. Man, I tell you what. My little guy's looking good. Hey, stuff like that. Just little, like, things in your mind. Just weird thoughts, and just, collect my thoughts together before I get out of the shower and go enjoy the rest of my night. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit different than usual people, which I am. I like to be unique. I like to be different. But, yeah, I mean, usually, like, when I dry off, there's not much. I mean, it's damp. I mean, the towel is damp, definitely. But, I mean, if it's soaking wet like that, that causes fights. That'll be a fight. I'd just make it to everybody. I mean, because it's going to make the bed wet, which that's a whole different topic there. You know what I mean, per se.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, putting a towel there just because it's wet, you shouldn't do that. It should go in the hamper. Or, as I would say, it was going to go with that sheet that was dirty that I was talking about, and the stuff clothes that was before the hamper. Then you have a whole set of dirty laundry that could be done right then and there without no questions asked.
Totally.
I mean, I believe it. I'm 100% advocate for it. Like, I'm for it, 100%.
100% what?
I'm an advocate.
Advocate, okay.
What'd you think I said?
I thought you said African for it.
Wow. Like,
I'm going to have to delete that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, I guess,
I was like, what the hell?
Like I said, in first grade, I had, a slur, and, my speech impediment sometimes shows up. And that's another reason why I can be more, I guess you say, passive. I don't sit there and try to put myself out like that, because it can be embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because, I don't know if you've seen like the video of the guy that gets stuck on a word. He just stutters the whole time.
Yeah,
like
that's me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of makes it's embarrassing, So I kind of try to, in my mind, it might sound one way. When it comes out, it might come out a different way. So, like, there's certain words I don't use because they can be really confused easily. But I thought advocate and African were two different words. So maybe you were thinking something else. I don't know.
They just we're really close together.
Oh, well, maybe you were thinking about the new listener in Jamaica that we have now. You know what I mean?
We got a new listener in Kingstown.
Exactly. Kingstown, Jamaica. Kingston. Yeah. Kingston, Jamaica. I would love to know how they found us by accident. It had to be by accident, because I don't know anybody down there. And it was a Texas, it's from Pennsylvania, and I love every one of you guys. Like, you guys have been so great. Listen to our podcast. Our retention of our second episode was really good. We're over 80%. We're trying to, build this slowly but surely, going from one end to the other. This was the first one we planned as a Q&A kind of deal, or, people say, hey, what is a pet peeve? This is your answer, and we're going to dissect it some way, somehow. And it kind of worked out pretty well. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, we kind of just, fly by night. It's what it is, go by hip. Yeah. Shoot off the hip and go from there. Kind of like my story in the middle anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing, remember Hills Hounds? What was it? Hills Hounds? What?
Hill Hounds Rescue Sanctuary, Inc. They are also on Facebook.
Yes, please hit them up, look at them, give them a like, give us a like as well. Real Talk Eastern Shore on Facebook. Like to hear anything you have to say and anything you want to talk about. Or, soon we're going to have swag wear. We have our store online here in the next month or so. You get shirts, t-shirts, hats, I don't know what else we're gonna have. It could be boxers. I don't know. And I'll even wear the boxers. Matter of fact, if people, the more listeners we get, I'll do more outrageous things. I'm pretty sure. So I mean, it is what it is. That's fine and everything. And I do want to give a shout out. A friend of mine. I know they're dealing with their loss. It's been like 2-3 weeks, and I hope they feel better. I know it. There's nothing I can say to make it better, and I wish I could. Which I pride myself on trying to make people forget about things that are bad in their life. But you keep your head up. At the end of the day, everyone's cheering you on, trying to hope for the best for you right now, because I know it's a dark time, and unfortunately, what has happened in your life, it's been rough. And I mean, that goes for anybody out there. Stuff like that is nothing to be dealing with or joking about. And our thoughts and prayers are with everyone out here. And like I said, before we close the show, there is a pet peeve that I do want to talk about. That really, really, I mean, it makes me so mad because I've used it before, and I thought about it, and I'm like, why did I say that? It's when someone loses somebody, and then someone posts, hug your little ones a little bit tighter, or hug the ones you love more. Why aren't you doing it in the first place anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Are you got to have a loss in your family or a loss of a friend for you to hug whoever is dear to you tighter? Let me tell you something. I've lost enough. I hold all my friends tight in my mind, and I mean it doesn't mean physically, as in holding them tighter, but mentally, I wish no harm on them. I wish the best. I wish for them to succeed in life. This includes associates. You know what I mean? People that you just run into once in a while, say hi and everything. That is probably my biggest pet peeve, besides smacking the lips, by far. Like, for real, like, I really hate. I see it on Facebook so many times. I just want to start screaming at the person, like, grab them by their head. Is what in the hell is wrong with you? Why would you post this? You should be holding on more than anything, because we live on this earth really short.
Yeah, don't wait till someone is gone to show them how they feel.
Exactly. You shouldn't be like, well, they were really nice to me. I wish I could have spent more time with them. Well, guess what? Spend more time with them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you make that decision. No one else. And if they have enough time for you, I'm pretty sure they'll spend time with you. So, that's my. I mean, do you have anything about that pet peeve? Do you?
About
what I said?
well, no.
Do you
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And that's one thing I want everyone to understand. I know the last 2 episodes we've talked about demise, and you never know when that's going to happen. Today we're sitting here, and tomorrow we might not. So keep that in mind. We wish you a great weekend. It's only going to get better. It's supposed to rain tonight, which I'm probably going to dance in it anyway. I like rain. I might go out with no shirt on and just be boxers. Hell with it. And enjoy myself. I just hope the neighbors won't see me. They might get scared. But from us to you guys, I want you all to enjoy your day, and we will, I guess, hear from you shortly again.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who took the time to listen to this episode, and if you liked it, listen to our old ones. Subscribe and make sure to like us on Facebook. We are at Real Talk Eastern Shore.
Yes, and I'm telling you right now, be part of this ride, because at the end of the day, this ride's not going to stop. And it's going to only get bigger and better and get more informative and get more funnier and more serious at the whole scheme of things. So from me and John, have a good afternoon and enjoy your day. Have a good night.